What's up guys, SeanEDawgz here, and we are going to kick off the holidays right. I'm going to be announcing the winner to the giveaway, so stick around. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Festivus, whatever you want to celebrate. I hope you have a good one. And without further ado, the winner is Travis L, who commented, "I hope I win so I can get the season pass." Congrats Travis on the $50 Windows Store gift card. You can now buy that season pass for free. So last night I was thinking, and I'm going to start doing giveaways on Twitter from now on, because I've realized the only way to actually get in contact with you is if you reply to that comment that you made. So please reply on there and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can so I can get that gift card in your hands. Again, congrats, and let's get into today's video. So the R3K has an epic variant called the Wrecked. It's red, it looks pretty cool, and about 2 or 3 weeks ago I would have told you that this was a god gun, because I don't think they really updated this specific variant since, but since then the regular R3K got a massive buff. It one bursts most of the time, it's a 3-round burst weapon, and it's absolutely deadly. I was using it earlier today and getting a lot of one burst kills. The time to kill is very quick, but when you turn on this epic variant, it turns into sort of like a man of war. It fires a lot slower, but it is now automatic instead of burst fire. And although you do have this automatic capability, it does fire really slow. I think it's definitely a liability at close range. I was losing quite a bit of my gunfights at that range, and I just don't see anything really special about this gun. I mean, it's pretty good, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it's a top tier weapon anymore. Considering that they recently buffed the regular R3K, that regular gun kills much faster than this epic variant, although this one is automatic. That being said, I'm sure it still mostly comes down to preference, so now I'm going to get into details about the class setup that you should be using if you decide to use this weapon. So the first thing that I did when I used this gun was I threw an elo sight on there, because I just hate the iron sight. That's definitely a preference thing. I just don't like the way it looks. It's nothing compared to like the NV4's iron sight. I feel it's bulky and it gets in the way. And I have no shame in using a point for that elo sight because it gets me more comfortable with the gun and I'm able to use it more effectively. The next thing I tried out was the silencer. I would not recommend putting a silencer on this weapon because it significantly reduces the 3-shot kill range, which is what this gun's all about. You want to get that 3-shot instead of 4-shot kill, but with the silencer on there, it just doesn't cut it. I would never ever put a silencer on this gun, and I recommend you do the same. So the attachments that I'm running are actually quick draw and grip, and it is pretty strange that I have to run grip on this, because if I were using the regular burst fire R3K, I would never put on grip because it's very accurate. But I feel like this gun has a lot of kick. I don't know, I guess just because it's an automatic weapon, they threw a lot of kick in there even with the slow fire rate, but I feel like it definitely needs some grip. The gun has some real kick to it and it's pretty difficult to control at times. Quick draw, that's a pretty standard attachment for most if not all of my classes. It's pretty self-explanatory, works pretty much the same on all guns. You just aim faster, you get that few frames, that little head start on your gunfights to come out on top by that one extra bullet. Now I almost forgot, this gun is very unique in the sense that I use 3 attachments instead of the usual 2 that I use for most guns. The reason for this is you don't go through a lot of ammo at all with this gun. I usually end up shooting like 5 to 6 bullets per person, if that, because it has that 3-shot kill, and because of this I don't run scavenger, so I don't run a perk 2 at all, and that leaves me with some extra points in my class. So I throw on that 3rd attachment, and what I use is the particle amp, which extends the stopping power range of your gun. The reason I put this on is again to further that 3-shot kill range. That's what the main focus of this class setup is. I don't run the silencer, and I run that particle lamp. I want to get as many 3-shot kills as possible, and with the particle lamp, the 3-shot kill range is pretty far with this weapon. On most maps, it's probably longer than most gunfights you will have. That's it for the attachments. Moving on to the perk setup. I use Ghost on every class that I play with in this game. Maybe because I don't run a silencer, it's not absolutely necessary with this gun, but I just hate being seen on UAV. It's definitely the most used score streak on Call of Duty, so I just never want to be on that. You'll see at least 5 UAVs a game without a doubt. My next perk is actually a second perk 1, which is going to take up an extra point on your class setup. This is definitely another preference one that you could swap out for something else, and it is overclock. The reason I use overclock is because I want to get my specialist as quickly as possible. I use phase shift, which really comes in handy in staying alive and keeping your high kill streaks. You get phase shift pretty quickly. This is for the FTL. I also use perception, which is the trait, which lets you see if someone's looking at you if you're not looking at them. I think both of these are very useful for maintaining high kill streaks. And when you use overclock, you get the phase shift extremely quick. I would say around every 45 seconds, maybe even quicker if you get like 3 kills in that time. Although it is up to preference, I strongly recommend this because after about every 2 or 3 kills, I'm using my phase shift again. It gives you a massive advantage in most of your gunfights, and especially with all these Christmas noobs coming up, they're not even going to know what phase shift is. I'd say you have around a 95% chance of winning your gunfight after you phase shift, so it really does come in handy. Now, skipping the perk 2s because I don't use any for this weapon. I don't think there's a perk 2 that's really all that useful besides scavenger, but you don't really need that for this gun. The third perk that I use is Dead Silence. That's another run-of-the-mill perk. I use that on all my classes just because I never want to be sprinting around a corner and I'll just get instantly lit up. I'll get melted because the guy knows exactly where you are. I like to remain hidden because I take a lot of flank lanes when I play, so this is another preference one, but I would definitely recommend. It's based on your play style, so if you like to play stealthy or you like to hit the flank lanes, I would use Dead Silence on every class. Last but not least is the equipment. This is strongly up to preference. This one's pretty much up in the air. I would say it's a toss-up between the portable radar and the dome shield. Both of them each give you a slight advantage. They're just used differently. I personally use the dome shield, although I almost never use it. Portable radar is probably a little bit more useful, so maybe you should run that. But it definitely is a preference thing. I don't think a lot of people use equipment in Call of Duty anyway, or at least they don't use them often. That's going to wrap it up for the class setup. Just to recap, your main focus is going to be on that 3-shot kill, so you definitely don't want to put a silencer on this gun. And maybe you want to think about putting the particle lamp so you get even more of a range for that 3-shot kill. All in all, this is a very good gun. I'd say top 10, but it is not god tier. I don't think it belongs in the top 5. It just has too much recoil and its time to kill is not that fast. If your main goal in getting these epic weapons is literally just to go try hard and kill the enemy as fast as possible, I would recommend getting the epic K-bar, as that gun's already ridiculous and the epic variant makes it even better. I'll definitely be making a video on that soon, but that is all for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like. I think a reasonable goal would be 600 trillion likes. It'd be absolutely amazing if we could hit that. But if you did enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And as always, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Almost forgot, my buddy Spraying Bullets let me use his account. He has pretty much all the epic weapons, so big shout out to him. He's the bro, and I will see you in the next video.